Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to discuss about SMTP protocol, which is again one of the very popular protocol in application layer. And I have discussed about other popular protocols in application layer like HTTP, HTTPS, DNS, and this again we are covering SMTP protocol here. And if you have not watched other videos related to other protocols, do watch it. So you will find the link to the playlist in the description and also in the comment section, like in this below this video. So do watch it. So first, we will look at an overview of SMTP protocol. So if you see the full form of SMTP, it's Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. So now, at least it will be in your mind that okay, this protocol is used for email purpose. So email is also a very important part of our day-to-day lives. And already we have discussed about another important protocol, that is HTTP protocol, which is very important. Like that is used whenever you are browsing some web pages. Similar to that, email is also very important for communication. And this SMTP helps in that email communication, as we will see later on, like how it helps in that. And this is again a very popular application layer protocol, and this is used in electronic mail. So whatever mails you are sending to someone, and when you are retrieving some mail, so in that this protocol is used. Now this uses TCP to transfer mail from sender's mail server to recipient's mail server. So I will discuss about what is a mail server here and what is sender's mail server and recipient mail server. But do remember that in the communication process, like whatever communication happens through this SMTP protocol, in that TCP is used. This is very important. TCP is used here. Now you should also ask yourself like why TCP is used here, why not UDP used? You should always ask that. So the answer here is that see, email communication should always be reliable. You cannot lose the data in between. So if I am sending some mail to some other person, I do want that this mail should reach them. That's why reliability is important in email. That's why TCP. And if reliability was not so important in this case, we would have used UDP also because UDP is faster. So this SMTP protocol is used by mail servers, which can act as both SMTP client and SMTP server. So I will explain that in the next one. So this slide is very important. So I will explain you how email communications takes place. So see here. So here you have a two-person. Alice is here and Bob is here, right? Now Alice wants to send an email to Bob. So basically, Alice basically, so of course, for sending the mail, you have agent. So what does this agent means here? So agent can be anything. Typically nowadays, most of us do go to our web browsers. There we open like gmail.com and we use that agent for writing the mail. And we also see the mails there. So that is also like your web browser. Web browser is the agent itself. Agent in the sense that it helps in sending the mail and also receiving the mail. But you also have like if you're on Mac, if you're on Windows or Linux, you also have the application. Like for Gmail, you can download the application. For Outlook, like let's say if you're using Microsoft Outlook, you can download their application. Similarly, on Android phones or Apple phones, you can download the applications also. So you have two ways typically of sending and seeing the messages, email messages. Either you can go to browser and do that, or either you can use the email applications that are there. So all of these are agents there. So of course, allies can use any of these agents. In the first place, what will happen? The message like from the agent, from the browser or application app, it will first be sent to allies mail server. So let's take the example. Maybe let's say allies email address is, I'm just giving an example, allies at the rate, let's say gmail.com, okay? Gmail.com. And let's say Bob's email is bob at the rate yahoo.com. Okay. Let's say these are the emails of both of them. And Alice is sending like to mail to bob at the rate yahoo.com with some subject and some message. Okay. So what is this Alice mail server here? This typically in this case will be a gmail.com server, gmail.com mail server. Because if you see Alice email address is gmail.com, so all the messages like whatever she is sending will first go to Alice mail server, and whatever like messages are targeted to her at this allies@gmail.com, they also will come to Allies mail server. All will be stored in this message queue here. Now from this mail server, now I mean of course this message will get forwarded. So whatever mail she is sending, that will get forwarded to Bob's mail server, and it will be directly. There will be no intermediate in between. Directly this message from Allies mail server, whatever she has sent, will directly be forwarded to Bob's mail server. And if you see, the protocol here uses SMTP. So the protocol that is used for communication between this Alice mail server and Bob mail server is, if you see here, it is SMTP. And also for Bob mail server, it will be one of Yahoo, in this example at least, yahoo.com mail server. This will be yahoo.com mail server, one of that. And at last, what will happen? So of course, the message has arrived in the Bob's mail server, but still Bob needs to read that. So how he will read that? So he can read that using one of the agent. So again, either Bob can go to the web browser and open, for example, yahoo.com, mail.yahoo.com, or he can use the app, Yahoo app, for Yahoo mail app for the same. And once he goes to that, let's say on the browser itself, then he can see the message. And again, here the protocol used for retrieving the mail from Bob's mail server is different. Do remember. For pushing the mail, if you see here, Alice is pushing the mail to Bob. In that, SMTP is used. But for retrieving the mail, SMTP is not used. For that, different protocol, maybe either HTTP, IMAP, or POP3. All three can be used. And of course, about these three protocol, of course, these two, HTTP we have already discussed. Because about POP3 and IMAP, we will discuss that in next video, like how this retrieving happens. But in this video, we are going to discuss about SMTP. And also, yeah, here also, HTTP also can be used. I have not mentioned here, but in this case also, HTTP can be used. So if you are on your web browser and sending a mail to someone, in that case, HTTP will be used in that case. And if you are on maybe on some application, maybe Outlook application or Gmail application, in that case, SMTP can be used to remember this. So this is how actually your email communication takes place. Now, next one is very important. Which port numbers are used in the communication, right? So here, if you see, I'm only discussing SMTP here, POP3 and IMAP, I will cover it next. So which port number, basically Alice agent is connecting to which port number on Alice mail server? And then which port number Alice mail server is, used for connecting to Bob's mail server, which port number? This is very important. So there are four port numbers actually used for SMTP. So first one is 25, port number 25. This is the default port number, and it's the oldest port number like that is being used till now. But the issue with this is there is no security in this. So if you send some mail on this port number 25, anybody on the internet can see what is the message there. It's not encrypted. It's non-encrypted form. So anybody can see, no security here. And typically this port number 25, outgoing is blocked by most internet service provider, because this port number is very famous for spam messages, because there is no security here, right? So anybody can keep on sending messages to port number 25. That's why in most of the, most of the ISP we block any, so see what is happening. If port number 25 is open, I can bombard that port number with some mail or other, right? If there is no security there. So that's why these are typically blocked. These ports are typically blocked by ISPs. And this, at least nowadays, this is only used for relaying messages. So why only relaying messages? Because of course we are living in 2021 now, right? And we cannot send the message in non-encrypted form now. It needs to be encrypted so that nobody in the internet can see that messages. Privacy is very important. So that's why port number 25 is not used for submitting messages, but it is used for relaying messages. So if you remember here, so for submitting messages, port number 25 will never be used. So when you are submitting, Alice agent is submitting the mail to Alice mail server, typically port number 25 will not be used. But for relaying the messages, like Alice can connect to port number 25 or Bob's email, it can happen because that is a relay process. The next important port number is port 467. So this is basically SMTP over SSL. That means, so if you do not understand about SSL, do go and watch my HTTPS video where I've discussed about SSL and TLS handshake. So in this, basically SSL means here the communication is secured. That means whatever you send, it will be in the encrypted form. The communication will take place. And this is again used for submission of messages. So whenever you are submitting message, right, in the first step, this is submission step. So this is used for submission of messages. And this is deprecated now. It's because of TLS has gained a lot of importance now. And SSL, if you see, is kind of outdated now. Like most of the, I will say, applications use TLS for communication. That's why this is deprecated now. But yes, many mail servers still use this, but not a lot of them. Next very important one is 587, that is still used. And this is basically SMTP over TLS. So again, this is secured, but this is using TLS for encryption process. It is secured and default for submission of messages. So for at least like for most of the mail servers today, this is kind of default port that the agent will connect. Like in the first step of submission of messages, like LIS agent, C will connect to first to the port number, this one, 587 for submitting of messages. Another one is 2525. Like this is typically used if port number 587 is blocked. In this case, you can use 2525 for sending the submission of mail. Only in the case 587 is blocked, you can use this. Now, this is one example of like how email communication works. So you can see here, Allies invokes a user agent for email. She will provide Bob's email address, for example, bob@school.edu. Everyone Bob at Yahoo, but it can be any other email address. Composes the messages and instructs the user agent to send the messages, right? So she will instruct the browser or the from the application to send the message. So Allies user agent sends the message to her mail server. That's what I explained here, where it is placed in a messaging queue in the Allies mail server. The third step is the client side. So I told you there are two sides of SMTP. Now there are two sides. Why I'm telling you there are two sides? See, so when Allies agent, this agent is sending the email message to Allies mail server. In this example, the mail server is acting as a server, and this agent is the client, right? In this case, in the first case, here this is the client and this is the server in first case. So basically, in the first case, this mail server was acting as a server. But when this Allies mail server, C is but when the Allies mail server is forwarding the mail to Bob's mail server, in that case, this is the client and this is the server, right? And again, in the last case, if you see, Bob's agent will be client and this will be server. So you can see, right, this SMTP server, this mail server is acting as both a client and a server for different purposes. So if you see the third step, the client side of SMTP, because in the third step, it's a client running on Allies mail server, sees the message in the message queue, it opens a TCP connection to SMTP server running on Bob's mail server. Because in the third step, what is happening? This Allies mail server is opening a connection to Bob's mail server. So Allies is acting as a client here, Allies mail server, and Bob's mail server is a server here. In the fourth step, after some initial SMTP, so there is some handshaking that goes in SMTP. The SMTP client sends Allies message into the TCP connection. So after establishing the connection, Allies mail server will send the message, forward the message to Bob's mail server. Now at the Bob's mail server, the server side of SMTP receives the messages because it was acting as a server. Now it will receive the message. Now Bob's mail server then places the message in the Bob's mailbox. So it will be placed in a kind of message queue of Bob's. Now Bob invokes his user agent to read the message at this convenience. Again, now Bob's user agent is the client and Bob's mail server is the server here, and Bob will retrieve the message using this client. Those are all the steps in email communication that happens. And you see this TCP is very important because TCP connection is used, like TCP. And if you see here, like TCP is very important, like because TCP transport protocol, this is used in the communication here. Again, you can see another same example here. Same is Allies agent, then Allies mail server, then Bob's mail server, and if you see at last, at different steps are there. In the first, this is Allies agent. Second, basically, the submission of message happen. In third step, basically this is stored in Allies mail server. In the fourth step, if you see a connection goes between Allies mail server and Bob's mail server, then if you see the message gets stored in the fifth step in the Bob's mail queue. Then in the sixth step, basically you see Bob will retrieve the mail. So that is again the same thing. This is one example of showing this. So as I told you, not a lot of I will say ISPs allow you to send actually mail to port number 25 because typically that is blocked. But it's just one example here. If you are allowed it to, so you can use this. And do remember that this is basically telnet. I am using telnet command here. I'm not using, this is just an example here. But telnet is not secured. Whatever you write, once you establish a connection in telnet and whatever you are sending the messages here, these are not secured. Do remember that. So if you see here, the steps you can see here. So basically this is the first command. I will use telnet and I will connect to the mail server of Bob because Bob So Bob mail here is bob@hamburger.edu. So don't get confused. So in first example, I have taken the email address as different, just for example purpose, gmail.com and yahoo.com. In this example, I have taken different mail and it should not make any difference. So I am connecting to the mail server of basically Bob here, and port number 25 I am using. If you see, the first message is basically 220 from the mail server itself, that is hamburger.edu. 220 means that I mean, everything is good till now. So this is kind of status code for that. So you can see here, S is for like communication from server, and C is communication from client. So server is hamburger.edu here, and client will be Alice here, like on which Alice agent basically. Now, if you see from server, the reply after hello, and it has done a hello here. After that reply is 250 again. That means everything is good, and it has also like hello creeps.fr, pleased to meet you. So basically, creeps.fr is the mail server of Alice. Now you can see the syntax here, mail from. So basically, you have to. There are two or three important fields there, like mail from, like from where the mail is sent. So this is alice@, creeps.fr. So this is the Alice mail address. Then the reply is basically 250 from server side, right? So that means 250 means everything is okay. Now let's move forward. Now again, a client replies, Alice agent replies with receipt to, like to whom you want to send the mail. That is bob@hamburger.edu. This is the email to which we are to send this message. Then again, server reply is 250, everything is fine and okay, everything is okay. Move forward again. Now the next last step is sending the data. So we have mentioned the mail to like recipient mail, and also the mail from where the mail is going. Last one is data. Now, of course, enter the email with like, do you like ketchup? How about pickles? And once you are done with writing the messages, just in the new line, write dot and press enter. So now message is accepted for delivery. So this is from the server side. So this client has typed the message. Now from server side, message accepted for delivery. 250 means again everything is okay. At last, client will type quit because message accepted for delivery. So after that, client will quit. And if you see from server side, that closing the connection. So this is kind of steps there if you see. And this can be done with telnet if port number 25 is open, if you have some. And in this case, if you see, so basically, if you go to this example, so Alice mail server, what is Alice mail server here? If you see, that's, you can see here, it is scripts.fr, right? So this is creps.fr in this example. And for this, it is hamburger.edu. Now for Gmail also, I have given the SMTP server, all the details here that you can also just Google search, you will find this. So for Gmail, the mail server is smtp.gmail.com. This is the mail server for Gmail. Then required SSL is yes. If you want to send any mail to this mail server, you have to do SSL authentication first. Because I mean, of course, none of the websites today will allow you to like send some critical data in plain text, right? They will always require you to like have a SSL connection first, then only after you can do. Then if you see required TLS, yes, if available. So if TLS is also available, like you can use TLS also. Required authentication, yes, authentication is required in case of SMTP for Gmail. Port for SSL, see 465, a port for TLS 587, that we have already mentioned before. And there is no port 25 here because on port 25, like a lot of spamming happens and there are no securities there. So not Gmail will not allow to send you send mail to you using port number 25. Now this is one example I wanted to show you the steps of this. See, this is basically I'm using curl command here and SSL required. So then SSL is required here. Then what is the URL? So this is basically, if you see, this is same example here. Like this is the mail server of Gmail. So that's smtp.gmail.com, port now 465 I'm connecting to. You see 465 is for port for SSL. Right? You can also use the TLS also, no issues. Mail from, so you have to mention like mail from x@gmail.com, mail recipient, so to whom you want to send the mail, y@gmail, some example here. Then you can mention also authentication details like username and password. So do not go on the command line and directly type the username and password because it will be visible there. So maybe you can store this in some file and access from that, or maybe you can save that this as environment variable and do that. So that will be better. Then upload file mail.txt. So in this basically the content is there, what I want to send as a message, that will be there. Subject and all the content will be there. Okay. So the main focus is on seeing this reply here, right? So first thing if you do, see here again, connected to smtp@gmail.com. This is the IP address of that mail server, 74.125.24.104. Port number 465 here, that's what we are connecting to. You see the first step here, what is happening is TLS handshake. I have discussed that in HTTPS. So if you see first, like TLS authentication is taking place, and all the steps are mentioned here, right? All the steps of TLS or handshake are mentioned here. So first TLS handshake will happen. Now once this is done, now you can see that after TCP connection took place and TLS handshake is also done. So now the communication is taking place between the client and the mail server, that you can see here. Like already we have connected to smtp@gmail.com, and protocol here is as eSMTP. This is very extended SMTP. I'm not going to discuss more about this here in this video. Then first message, if you see, there are two arrows there. Like one is outgoing, one is incoming. So of course, the first one is from the server side, right? If you see this one. The second one is outgoing, that is from the hello message, hello mail.txt. That is from the client side, like from my side. Then from server again, if you get the reply 250 SMTP at your service, and this is the IP. So now, so basically, I'm not going deep into this. Whatever is there, like these are a part of eSMTP, like here pipelining, chunking, and many of these data are here. And if you want to read more about this, go to this Wikipedia page and read about this. I am mostly, I want see here mail from and receive to, and that we have seen in Telnet also, that example, and data. These three you can see here also. Mail from is there, like @gmail.com, and size is there. Again, server replies with, like if you see here 250, that is okay. And again received, like to whom we want to send mail to, so that is received to here. Again server replies is 250, that is okay. Then at last we send the data, if you see, and this data is being sent here, uploaded and sent here, if you see. And after that connection is again left intact, so it is not closing the connection. And then we type quit here, if you see here, right? We have typed quit here, so that is done, communication is done. So I just wanted to show you this example how overall communication was taking place with the help of SMTP. And do remember that all the communication over SMTP happens on like encrypted form. Actually, the submission, what I told you, right? The submission always happens with the, either it will happen like these two ports, either 465 or 587. And as I told you before, like 465 is not used much today. Typically 587 will be used. In this example, I have used 465, but typically 587 is used for submission of messages. But for relaying of messages, so once this encrypted message reaches, like let's for example, like here Alice and Bob are here, for example, then once that encrypted message will reach the Alice mail server, from that onwards, now the message is encrypted form. From now onwards, it's fine to send that encrypted message on port number 25 itself. It's fine. I mean, like they can communicate on port number 25, like their mail server. So relaying can happen on port number 25, but the submission will always typically happen on some other ports that support security. So that's all for this video. And in the next video, again, that will be continuation of kind of like how email actually works, because we have discussed SMTP, but again, the next part we have discussed is POP3 and IMAP. Like those are used for retrieving the messages on the like Bob sites. So that we have discussed in next, that will discuss in next video. Thank you.